Hi, students. Hey, yogis. Welcome. Jameson here, and I am so excited to introduce Unit 3 Yoga Techniques of our course. All right, so we have made our way through fundamentals and foundations of yoga that has progressed into the anatomy of yoga, yoga anatomy, and all the while we're building, learning so much more about this practice and about ourselves, improving strength, balance, and flexibility, and being able to improve our view of the world and our place in it. And now we get to expand into a whole new set of techniques with the objective to build a repertoire, to have these tools available to help us develop concentration and relaxation. Pranayama, which translates to breathing techniques, and meditation are both just those tools. And there's lots of different types of ways, there's lots of different ways to breathe, there's lots of different ways to meditate, and they can all be very, very beneficial in helping to relax and helping to focus. Now, from the relaxation and the focus, we also improve upon techniques for self-evaluating, where as our awareness expands, all of a sudden we can see, how am I doing? How am I feeling? How am I progressing? How am I moving? We can see the day-to-day fluctuations and the overall improvements. Now, it's not all just meditation and breathing for this unit. Don't worry, there's still lots of yoga asana, yoga postures, transitions. We will be practicing yoga, but there will also be some meditations and some breathing specifically focused for us to develop these skills of relaxation and concentration. So with the yoga practices, the yoga postures, we will continue to improve on strength, balance, and flexibility. So that way it is a consistent development, positive growth in the right direction that we continue to maintain from the beginning of this course all the way to the end. Okay, I'm really excited about what we are going to dive into. Here's a lecture that describes some of the techniques for meditation and pranayama that we will be practicing in the classes to come. So let's dive right in. Excellent. Our lecture today is called Meditation and Pranayama, and it is presented to you, created by myself, Jameson Hinkle. Really, really excited not only to discuss this information, but also to practice these techniques with you, and that comes soon. Okay, meditation, what is it? What is the purpose? Why do we do it? Whoa, these are big questions. The purpose of meditation is not, in fact, to gain benefits, but is simply a practice to be in the present moment. Therefore, truly experiencing what it means to be alive. So it's releasing the attachment of past and future and settling into what is true, what is real, what is now. Ultimately, acquiring liberation, freedom from the suffering caused by a monkey mind or by a very, very fast and turning, full of thoughts kind of mind. By turning in, we quiet the mind, find true peace. Yoga asanas, or the yoga postures, are to the body what meditation is to the mind. Both of them help to facilitate, reclaim, gain space. But similar to how the word art is an overarching term to describe a diverse range of human activities, meditation does not refer to a single thing, but is an overarching term to describe a range of various techniques and styles. I also like to think of this as bicycles. Do you ride bicycles? Yes. Well, you could ride road bikes or mountain bikes or single speeds, beach cruisers, tandem bikes, gravel bikes. There's so many different types of bicycles, but we call it biking. And there's so many different types of meditating, but we call it meditating, even though there are lots. Here's an image of me over on the right. This was an unknown photograph taken by my partner and it's really cool in front of a garden. And this is my preferred way to meditate: sitting cross-legged, hands down, spine straight up and down, shoulders relaxed, and working on one of the various techniques that we will get into and talk about now. First type is mindfulness meditation. This is the kind that I have been sneaking into your practice at the beginning of each class, which is so cool. I have us sit down, close our eyes, take 3 breaths, and then just sit and just watch what happens after those 3 breaths. And this is a very simplified way and is one type of mindfulness meditation, simply observing thoughts and feelings and letting them go rather than entertaining them. The intention is to witness, just to observe, to see, rather than judge. There's various ways of doing this. You can body scan, you can move your awareness throughout your entire body and see how you feel. I feel hot or cold, maybe painful, soft. It could be anything that you see. And again, you just observe it. This can happen while seated. It can also happen while lying down. We'll get into some body scanning meditation. In fact, the entire course ends with a yoga nidra, which is a very deep body scanning meditation that I will guide. I'm pretty excited for that. Thought labeling. So we could be in our mindfulness meditation and be thinking. We could label them. Oh, that's a negative thought. That's a positive thought. That's a negative thought. That's a neutral thought, for instance. Or we could say, that's a thought about myself. That's a thought about others. That's a thought about the world. You just literally become aware of your thoughts by organizing and labeling them. And after you do that, you let them go. Insight, scanning awareness through the framework of the body with a focus on acknowledging and releasing physical sensations. This one is practice sitting up. This one I offer all the time. Notice how you feel, where you feel it. 3 different types of mindfulness meditation, really, really cool. There's this awesome little sheet on the left of your screen, 10 steps to mindfulness meditation. Create time and space, find a comfortable seated position, take deep breaths. Oh, I went 1 through 5. How funny. Well, they all apply. Set time, check your posture, take deep breaths, direct attention to your breath, maintain attention to your breath, and then rinse and repeat. So it's continue to bring your attention to your breath and hold that attention and focus. And you want to be kind, loving, compassionate to yourself. That helps cultivate that within you and makes it more readily accessible to offer out into the world. And then prepare for a soft landing, which can also be shavasana, maybe right before bed, a glass of water, something that can really, really help you as you move out of the meditation. Concentration. One way to work on concentrating is to concentrate. It is a rule of specificity. And so this is done by concentrating on a single point of focus and then refocusing back on that point every time the mind wanders off. And it does that. Our brains are really good at thinking about all kinds of different things. We can do this through mantra, the repetition of one word or multiple words over and over. We can stare at a candle flame. Every time we zone out, bring our attention back. We can follow each breath after breath after breath. And there are these necklaces with 108 beads on them, and they're called a mala. And basically, you can take a breath and then move your finger to the next bead and take a breath to the next bead, take a breath to the next bead, all the way around. And that is another way to focus and concentrate. And what we find happens, what I have found, is that over time, as you practice these techniques, you might say, I'm going to look at the candle, distracted, candle, distracted, candle, distracted, candle, distracted. But then it's candle, distracted, candle, distracted, candle, distracted. And what happens is the space between distractions decreases and the space for concentration increases. Now, again, this is a skill and technique, and it's also very dependent on the day. Some days I can sit and meditate quite easily, very nicely, and other days, no way, my mind is so distracted. But having that open heart, being kind, this is also very important to whatever the results are that you may get that day. Visualization, this is using our imagination to visualize. And we can use it for lots of different objectives. We can reframe negative events in the past or the present in a positive light, meditating on a healing white light surrounding a low vibrational area in your mind or body. And if you're wondering what that is, well, think about the way that you feel when you are sick, or think about the way that you feel if you didn't get enough sleep. Think about the way that you feel if you consumed much too much alcohol. You have it's not your fullest, it's not your lightest, it's not your best. In fact, I think that those things can take us into a lower vibrational category, and we can look at these lower vibrational areas in our mind or our body. We can send healing white light to them, and we can help to uplift and rise our vibration through the visualization of the white light. We can picture a teacher or someone or something that we love and meditate on their image. This helps to keep us focused and present. We can picture a future event that you are nervous about going smoothly. And so this is thinking about how something is going to happen, bringing it into the present and becoming familiar with it through the act of our meditation. Pretty cool, I know. Chakra healing meditation. Okay, so what is a chakra? Very commonly missaid chakra, but it's not an SH, it's a CH, chakra. Well, chakra is a Sanskrit word and it translates to wheel, and it's interpreted as an energy center in our body. And there are 7 energy centers from the base of our spine all the way up right through the tip top of our head. And each one of them is designated a color, and they have been designated colors that are analogous to the colors of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. We can see it from the bottom to the top, and each of them have a color and a crystal and a specific interpretation for what they can help us energetically. So we can go through the chakras, focus on each one in our meditation, and visualize the color while we're doing it and see what kind of benefits and see what resonates. This is a really cool practice that I'm pretty excited to share with all of you. Walking meditation. So this one is great. This is immersive in nature, expansive in the universe. It's awesome. It's where we are very aware of the sensation of every single step that we take while walking, using this to cultivate a sense of presence and alertness. And in the walking meditation, I find it is utterly important for all these meditations, really, but this one especially, to not have your cell phone with you. I think it's easy to sit and meditate, turn your phone off, and okay, boom, I'm in. We leave the house. It's another story. Can't go outside without my phone. What? That's craziness. But actually you can, and it's okay. I promise. The walking meditation can be really, really powerful to have a whole new perspective on areas that we go through all the time by meditating while walking. It's really awesome. Mindful eating, this is one of my favorite ones. The practice involves thinking about how your food got in front of you, the relationship with your food. Who grew my food? Where did my food grow? How did it get here? Was it made with love? You can close your eyes while you eat. You can smell the food before you take a bite. Become very aware of the flavors and the sensations in your mouth as you're chewing through whatever it is that you're eating. It can be an immersive experience all while eating. So if you're like me and you love food and you really enjoy eating, we can turn that into its own meditation. Sometimes when food is so good, I like to close my eyes and chew a little slow, and it just feels like the energy that went into my sense of sight now moves into my sense of taste, and I can taste it that much more rich and that much more full. Anapanasati. This is a breathing meditation. It's breathing and focusing on the breath as it moves in and out of the body. So Anapana is the first subject of meditation expounded by the Buddha in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, this great discourse on the foundations of mindfulness. Here, Buddha laid special stress on this meditation, for it is the gateway to enlightenment and Nibbana adopted by all the Buddhas of the past as the very basis for their attainment of Buddhahood. When the Blessed One, Gautama the Buddha, sat at the foot of the Bodhi tree and resolved not to rise until he had reached enlightenment, he took up Anapanasati as his subject of meditation. So the Buddha, everybody's a Buddha. I'm a Buddha, you're a Buddha, we're all Buddha. Buddha is just not one specific person, but it can be any person at all who is experiencing this type of awareness and enlightenment. Buddhism is a whole subject all on its own, and there's some overlaps between yogic roots and Buddhist teachings that all come through when we're practicing modern day yoga. One of them, Anapanasati, is focus on the breath. You look at the breath as it moves in and it moves out, and you just keep coming back and focusing on the breath. This is also a type of mindfulness meditation, and in fact, the roots of mindfulness meditation insight in the breathing is in this older type of meditation, Anapanasati. It's meditating on the breath. Meditation and breath go hand in hand. They work so well together. Okay, why should we meditate? Well, studies have shown that there are many short-term benefits to the nervous system resulting from a consistent meditation practice, including lowering your blood pressure, improving circulation, lowering your heart rate, easing anxiety, improved feelings of well-being, less stress, and clarity. And I can tell you from personal experience that I received these benefits. Now, if we remember back to the very first slide on what is meditation, meditation is not done for the benefits. But if you can do the practice for awareness, then these things, they just happen. I know it's kind of catch-22. I can't do them for the benefits, but if I don't do it for the benefits, then I get the benefits. What? It's another one of those things that we could possibly just meditate on. There are currently studies now looking to measure if consistent meditation practice will yield long-term benefits. It's worth repeating that any and all benefits from a meditation practice are merely fortunate byproducts of liberating the mind of suffering. So what's the objective? What's the goal? What's really happening? A lot is happening. If we free ourselves from suffering, then all of these nervous system benefits, short-term benefits happen in our bodies. Meditation can be so beneficial to your mental well-being, your physical well-being, emotional, and also to your spiritual well-being. It covers a lot. And it's really cool that we will be going through a few of these different meditation techniques, and you will be able to try them for yourself. So it's not just me telling you this is how it is, it's you being able to experience it firsthand. Okay, pranayama, the yogic art of breathing, leads to a control of the emotions, the senses, which in turn brings stability, concentration, and mental poise. Pranayama is a bridge which helps the student of yoga to cross from the realms of purely physical development to that of the spirit, and forms a crucial stage in his journey towards self-realization. BKS Iyengar. This is an image of Iyengar here, blocking his nose, practicing a breathing technique, Nadi Shodhana, and we will also be engaged in this practice. Okay, the most prevalent form of pranayama is Ujjayi Pranayama, and it's a technique to help calm the mind and warm up the body. When you're practicing, and it said Ujjayi, you completely fill your lungs with a slight contraction in your throat, breathe through your nose. This type of breathing technique is activated and is turned on while we're actually practicing yoga. So this is also known as a yoga breath. Its name comes from the Sanskrit word Ujjayi, which means to conquer or victorious breath. It's also referred to as the victorious breath because of the sound it makes when performed correctly. The breath is also sometimes called ocean breath or hissing breath, but many teachers and people will simply call it Ujjayi. Basically, you think if you had a little mirror in front of your nose, breathing in and out through your nose, you'd be fogging up that mirror. And it's audible. The person next to you could hear you, but not the person 3 or 4 people away. That would be too loud. That would be too much effort for this breath that you are doing. Ujjayi breath helps in the middle of yoga practice to keep that concentration, to warm your body, to maintain a level of presence and awareness throughout the entire practice. Square breath. So now this is a breathing technique that I like to do before meditation. And you could think about 2 sides of the square being kumbhaka or retention. So there is an inhalation and an exhalation. And then between the inhalation and the exhalation, there's a little pause. But we can hold that space for longer. And then same thing with between the exhalation and the inhalation. There's a little pause that we can hold for longer. And so we can have an even length. We can breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. The name kumbhaka is Sanskrit, and it means a pot, looking at the torso as a vessel full of air when we are holding it steady. Square breathing, really cool. I practice it all the time. One of my favorites, really like it. Kapalabhati, or the breath of fire. So this is a cool one. It's kind of funky. It consists of short, powerful exhales and passive inhales. It is a traditional internal purification practice or kriya that tones and cleanses the respiratory system by encouraging the release of toxins and waste matter. It acts as a tonic for the system, refreshing and rejuvenating the mind and the body. Basically, there are forced exhales where you kind of snap your tummy, your belly button towards your spine, and it forces the air out of your nose, and then you relax all the muscles in your stomach, and it passively allows the inhale to come back in, and then you follow that up with an exhale. It'll make more sense when we practice this all together, but for now, the introduction, breath of fire, very good for refreshing and rejuvenating the body and the mind, burning up any waste products that we don't want to hold on to, and this is the purification. You could think of fire as a medium for purification and transformation. Nadi Shodhana. So this is alternate nostril breathing that basically alternates the blockage of each nostril, channeling the air through your body in a concentrated flow. It balances the nadis, or the energetic pathways, channels of energy throughout the body, and harmonizes the left and right hemispheres of the brain, easing stress and anxiety. And nadi translates to channel, shodhana translates to cleansing or purifying. So it is cleansing your internal channels, bringing balance between right and left. In yoga, it's believed that practicing nadi shodhana will cleanse and purify the nadis, the energy channels, which will allow for a smoother flow of prana, the life force energy, throughout the body, mind, and spirit. When prana is unbalanced, because we have mental or physical stressors, the nadis become blocked, which can lead to illness and disease. Keeping the nadis cleansed will lead to overall wellness and peace in all areas of our life. And we will absolutely practice this breathing technique. Pranayama has a lot of benefits. It can decrease stress, improve sleep quality, increase mindfulness, reduce high blood pressure, improve lung function, enhance cognitive performance, and many more of the benefits that physical asana can provide. Now remember, it is a practice that will help contribute to your overall health and wellness. It's not a sole It's not a magic pill or something that if you breathe one technique one time, all of a sudden you will be healed of all your things. No. Through dedicated, consistent practice of meditation and pranayama, you can increase your health and wellness, and that will improve on many other aspects of your life. Okay, so what's the big deal? The bottom line here, pranayama or breathing techniques or breath control is a main component of yoga. It's a main component of living. We need to breathe to be alive. And in fact, we're not living if we're not breathing, straight up. It's frequently practiced with yoga postures and meditation. The goal of pranayama is to strengthen the connection between your body and your mind. I like to think of the mind being on one side of the river and the body being on the other side of the river. The bridge that connects the left bank to the right bank is breath, is breathing techniques, is pranayama. And then if we go a little bit deeper, and this is a little esoteric, once we have that connection, we realize that consciousness, the ocean that incorporates every single thing, is the left bank, the right bank, and the bridge. It is the mind, the body, and the bridge. And it's the water in the river and the vegetation on the sides. It's literally everything. And these are just components to everything. They are parts of a system. And if we want our mind-body system to run efficiently and optimally, well, we need to make sure that all the little pieces and the parts are functioning correctly, i.e. meditation, pranayama. There has been research showing that pranayama can promote relaxation and mindfulness, and it's also proven to support multiple aspects of physical health, including lung function, blood pressure, and brain function. All really cool stuff. All right. Are we excited? Are we ready? Is it time to learn how to meditate and to breathe deeply and thoughtfully and continue to grow as yogis on this yoga journey and exploration that we are well on our way? Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your continued dedicated practice. Here's to you in your health and your wellness. Namaste.